Ben Simmons is looking to move on, and a trade could be on the horizon soon enough. He claims there's so much bad blood. Simmons demands a trade as Sixers saga takes ugly turn. What's the ugly turn, you may ask? We are about to tell you. Enjoy the video. Simmons wants to be traded. Despite the fact that Ben Simmons had a meltdown against Atlanta in the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Philadelphia 76ers have been quietly marketing him around since that time. They've not been able to find a bidder willing to satisfy team president Daryl Morey's exorbitant asking price. As a result, they've been stuck in trade limbo for the past few months. It's possible that won't remain the case for much longer. According to Keith Pompey of the Philadelphia Inquirer, Simmons reportedly notified the Sixers last week that he no longer wants to remain with the franchise. Simmons does not intend to report to training camp later this month, according to ESPN's Chris Pompey. Following this, Morey must make the most significant decision of his brief Sixers career. Is he willing to compromise and trade for Simmons in exchange for the best available deal at the time, or should he try to call Simmons and Clutch Sports surrogate Rich Paul's bluff? If he chooses the latter course, he will be putting himself and his family in danger of an increasingly nasty confrontation. Simmons might face a fine from the Sixers if he continues to refuse to sign a contract, but a source told Pompey that money will not play a role in his decision. The Sixers' bond with Paul is also prominent in this story. It was reported on Tuesday by Jason Dumas of the KRON4 news station that Paul wants the Eagles to add fellow Clutch client Tyrese Maxey as part of a Simmons deal because he wants both of his clients out of Philadelphia. According to Dumas, a few local Philadelphia-based organizations have planned on partnering with Maxey on some community events. They were informed that their plans had been canceled. Paul's able to be absent. He does not want Maxey to establish a foothold in Philadelphia. If the Sixers refuse to lower their asking price for Simmons and insist that he report to training camp, it may put a pressure on their relationship with Paul and Clutch, who are close friends. These actions could come back to haunt them in future contract discussions with Maxey or other Clutch customers. Further, Morey must weigh the possibility of hurting his relationship with Clutch against the possibility of dealing Simmons for less than his perceived worth. There is such a relentless focus on Simmons' inability to shoot that it tends to overshadow everything else he contributes to the Sixers' success. This obsession has come back to harm them in the playoffs yet again. It's no surprise that Simmons finished second to Utah Jazz center Rudy Gobert in the league's Defensive Player of the Year voting this season. Simmons is a versatile defender who has played in all 5 conferences. According to Danny Green, who spoke to Sports Illustrated's Howard Beck, the team would be forced to rely more heavily on Matisse Thybulle and Danny Green as its key wing defenders if he were to go. Thybulle is one of the league's greatest on-ball defenders, so the possibility of him playing a larger role as a result of the Simmons deal is intriguing. The Sixers, on the other hand, do not have anyone on their roster who can step in to replace Simmons' playmaking abilities. In each of the previous 4 seasons, the 25-year-old has been the team's leading assist producer. A one-man fastback is created by his ability to retrieve a rebound, jet up the court, and kick the ball out to an open shooter or take it in himself on the break. Although Simmons is well known for his adamant refusal to attempt long-range bombs himself, he's only 5 of 23 from beyond the arc over the previous 3 seasons. He contributes to the generation of long-range bombs through his passing. Since then, he has assisted on 3-pointers, only second to the Los Angeles Lakers' Russell Westbrook, and the Sixers hit 39.4% from beyond the arc with him on the court, compared to 34.9% with him off. Simmons' offensive deficiencies limit his ability to contribute in the postseason. Teams are more locked in defensively, which decreases his opportunities to go out in transition, and they can sag off of him in half-court situations since he won't punish them with jumpers if they do sag off. His free throw shooting is also below average, thus he tends to avoid contact around the court when he can. It is possible that Simmons will back down from his trade request and that the Sixers will wait to see whether he has improved in those areas of his game before making their final decision on whether or not to deal him. Despite the fact that he still has 4 years and $146 million left on his contract, Morey has less incentive to move him at a loss. However, according to a Western Conference executive who spoke with Pompey, he may no longer have a choice in the matter. Consider the situation 3 months ago when the Sixers were eager to part with Ben Simmons. You think to yourself, let's see what we can do to get him back. The difference now is that Ben Simmons has stated that he would not play for the Sixers. He wishes to visit 3 different California teams. A lot of bad blood between him and the rest of the team. The youngster has stated that he will not be returning. I'm not going to give you what you're asking for. They really screwed up on this one. However, despite Simmons' struggle in the postseason, he remains a tremendously vital member of the Sixers' rotation during the regular season. The decision to grant Simmons the trade request will be based on how well Morey can replace Simmons' defense and playmaking contributions, which will be a major consideration. Following the conclusion of the FanDuel Sportsbook's latest poll, the Sixers are currently regarded as one of the Eastern Conference's top title contenders. The outcome of the complicated Simmons trade issue is likely to have an impact on the championship picture in one way or another. With training camps due to begin on September 28th, the Sixers will have 4 weeks to decide on Simmons' long-term future before the issue deteriorates even worse. If they're unable to come up with a decent trade package between now and then, they'd be in for a significant headache before the start of the 2021-22 season, according to the team. There is a rumor that 76ers player Ben Simmons has been drawn into a controversy over his lewd DM behavior. Ben Simmons, the standout forward for the Philadelphia 76ers, has been making headlines recently amid speculation about a possible departure from the Sixers. However, at the moment, the name of the 25-year-old is being dragged into a terrible scandal that has nothing to do with him at all. The actor Michael Blackson, who claims to be close friends, or at least used to be, with Simmons, has made some stunning allegations against the Sixers guard, alleging that he engaged in some questionable social media activities. In Blackson's account, Simmons secretly sent direct messages to Blackson's girlfriend, an act that the actor claims caused him to have a falling out with Ben. Simmons, on the other hand, is presently dating television star Maya Jama, and the two were recently spotted kissing and cuddling at a Wimbledon event. Simmons responded to Blackson's charges by sending the direct messages back in June. What if these allegations are true? Does this imply that Simmons was filming his scene with Blackson's girlfriend at the same time that he was already in a relationship with Jama? Blackson didn't stop there, however. Additionally, he admitted in an interview to previously throwing ladies at Simmons, a further jab at Ben's claimed womanizing tendencies. Simmons was not amused by this revelation. This is the last thing Simmons needs at this point in his life. The Sixers star just returned to social media after a 4-week absence, and he did so with an uplifting statement about his path in the NBA. Simmons is well aware of the defamation that has been directed to him over the course of the past few weeks, and he's attempting to take it all in his stride. What are the league's next top GM candidates? NBA success breeds opportunity. Governors are always attracted to postseason bosses. Former contenders like former Phoenix Suns assistant Willie Green can cut the line of other suitable hopefuls. One assistant general told BR, "It all depends on which team wins, and it can even help if you make a surprising run." So following a good term as the Milwaukee Bucks deputy general manager, NBA sources question if Milt Newton will get another chance. Newton served as the Timberwolves president from 2013 until 2016, succeeding Flip Saunders. Newton helped create the mega trade that sent Kevin Love to the Cleveland Cavaliers, brought Andrew Wiggins to the Wolves, and positioned Minnesota to choose Karl Anthony Towns with the first choice in 2015. Newton was one of the many fired by Tom Thibodeau and Scott Layden. Since then, he's been an integral part of the Bucks' brain trust. Supporting GM John Hurst is acquiring Jrue Holiday and PJ Tucker. Newton was linked to the Sixers' position before Daryl Morey beat Elton Brand to it, and the Bulls' opening before Arturas Karnisovas got it. Milt's a veteran and as respected as they come, said one experienced Eastern Conference boss. Former Utah Jazz GM Dennis Lindsey has been linked to a number of other front offices throughout the league. These talks appear to have ended, sources said. Former Boston Celtics assistant GM Mike Zarin and Miami Heat GM Andy Ellisberg are constantly mentioned as prospects. But few expect Ellisberg to consider leaving the Heat and President Pat Riley. Adam Simon, the Miami Heat's associate general manager, was also a candidate for the Charlotte Hornets GM job, which went to Mitch Kupchak. Despite rumors that head coach Eric Spoelstra may one day succeed Riley in the front office, few league insiders anticipate Simon will leave Miami anytime soon. The Celtics' purported hunt for a general manager looks to have paused, sources told BR. Boston is unlikely to make an external hire with less than a month until training camp. What's your take on the video?